Yo, what's up guys? Alex here, and I'm currently in Indiana to watch the Pacers play the Knicks, but also might as well take advantage of the sportsbooks. Indiana is the third best state for sports betting in the United States, right after Colorado and then New Jersey, right? So they have all of these sportsbooks, 11 of them: WynnBet, Barstool, theScore, Caesars, PointsBet, BetMGM, and all of these sportsbooks have sign-up bonuses. So a few of the recent videos have been about sign-up bonuses. So if you look at the state of Indiana, if you were to sign up for all 11 of these sportsbooks, do their promotions in a mathematically optimal way, your profit should be roughly $10,000 for the state of Indiana, which puts it right behind New Jersey and Colorado as the third best state in the U.S., at least for sign-up bonuses. So we're not going to talk about, every book's sign-up bonus in this video. So we'll just zone in on a few of the main ones because they're the most popular on US sportsbooks now, and that is risk-free bets. So you can see right here, WynnBet, get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. BetMGM, it's the same thing. My risk-free bet is the Pelicans, plus 475 versus the Suns last night by the time I post this video, but this game's later today. And then Unibet also has a $500 risk-free bet. So what is a risk-free bet? How does it work? So essentially, if your first bet loses, it's risk-free. You get your money back, but you get your money back in the form of a free bet. So you get your money back in the form of a free bet. It's not like you get back cash that you can automatically withdraw from your account. So we'll go into this in a sec, but we've talked about it a little in other videos. You want your free bet to have, or you want your risk-free bet to have higher odds. And the reason is it maximizes value. It maximizes expected value. If you're placing your risk-free bet on something that's minus 500, you're winning 5-6 of the time. So the risk-free aspect of the sign-up bonus becomes a lot less useful to you. You want your free bet to be placed on higher odds. And you can go through the math if you have any questions about this. Just as the odds of your risk-free bet increase, your expected value increases as well. So placing a risk-free bet at plus 500 odds and winning 1/6 of the time, the expected value of your risk-free bet is roughly $625. Whereas if you're placing it on minus 500 odds, the value is only $125. So you can see these are big differences, right? Just placing your risk-free bets on something with higher odds adds a lot of value and long-term profit to your sports betting accounts. So long story short, I signed up for, out of these Indiana sportsbooks, I have a few of these. I signed up for a few more that you can get on a state-by-state basis. So you can see BetMGM, I already have 2 bets down. WynnBet, I placed my bet on Central Michigan plus 310. That's my risk-free bet. It says it right there. Your bet is risk-free up to $1,000, and we placed $1,000 on it. And then you can see I have a bunch of other random bets on Indiana. Just happy to be, back in a state with, regulated, legalized sports betting, and there were some good lines out there. So what we're going to do now is we know we want to place our risk-free bet on something with higher odds. For WynnBet, we placed our risk-free bet on, if we scroll, Central Michigan, money line plus 310 versus Western Michigan. And that game is Wednesday. So that game should be today by the time the video is posted. And why did I like this? Well, first of all, it's higher odds. And second of all, I needed a game tomorrow. I'm not going to be in Indiana that long. And you can see WynnBet is giving you the best price on Central Michigan. BetMGM, Fanduel, and WynnBet are actually all giving you plus 310, but you can see Pinnacle's all the way down at plus 293. So what we want to do now, like we've done in other videos, is we want to go through the math, right? We want to bet mathematically and kind of try to back out the expected value of our promotion. So we bet on Central Michigan money line, plus 310 odds. This was Pinnacle's market, plus 293 minus 402. So what we can do is we can go to OddsJam, we can go to a no-vig odds calculator, and we can put in Pinnacle's market. So plus 293 minus 402 plus 293, minus 402. And you can see that the fair price, once you remove the vig, you remove the juice, our estimate of the fair win probability of Central Michigan is 24.11%, which is right here. Our win probability, 24.11%. And then obviously our loss probability is just 1 minus that. So again, this isn't perfect. This is an estimate of your fair win probability, but we know that the way that sportsbooks make money is they charge the juice. They charge the vig, right? DraftKings does not charge you a fee every time you place a bet. Instead, they charge juice. They charge vig by giving you odds that they don't think are good. So we can see Pinnacle's market here is plus 293, minus 402. There's a lot of juice baked into that. So what we do is we remove the juice. We find a midpoint with 0 vig, and then we can back out the fair win probability. So all this is saying, these numbers here, is if you remove the juice from Pinnacle for this specific market, the point of indifference would be roughly plus 315. So plus 315 on Central Michigan, minus 315 on Western Michigan. That is a 0 juice, 0 hold market. And with that, we can get our fair win probability, which is 24.11%, which is here, right? So we know that if this bet is to hit, we're winning 3.1K, right? And we should be winning 24.11% of the time. That's our estimate, right? Maybe it's 23%, maybe it's 25%, maybe Pinnacle is slightly moving around its market, whatever, but it's somewhere around 24%. It can't be much different. This is our fair win probability. Now, if we lose our risk-free bet, we don't get back cash, right? It's not like if my bet on WynnBet loses the Central Michigan $1,000 wager, it's not like I get back $1,000 of cash that I can then just withdraw from my account. You get back a free bet, right? So free bets, what we can do now is we can go here and we can go to betting tools. We can go to the low holds page on OddsJam, and we can put in filter by sportsbook and then WynnBet. So all the low holds page does after filtering by a sportsbook is it shows you the highest possible conversion rate for your free bet. So in other words, if you wanted to hedge your free bet, what would you have to bet on the opposite bet, the hedge, to guarantee yourself a risk-free return? So we can see right here, there's a 76.58% conversion between WynnBet and Circa for the Thursday night football game of the Jets versus the Colts. The Colts are the Jets are plus 425 on WynnBet. The Colts are minus 455 on Circa Sportsbook. So what that means is, let's say our risk-free bet loses. Let's say this loses tomorrow, that market's still there. I'm going to have back an $1,000 free bet, right? Free bets are different than cash because if your free bet loses or if it wins, you don't get back your stake, right? If I place $1,000, like if I place $1,000 cash on the Bucks to win plus 100 odds and the Bucks win, I get back $1,000 of profit plus my $1,000 stake. So I get back $2,000 total. Now what's different with the free bet is if you bet an $1,000 free bet on the same thing, the Bucks 100, you only get back your profit, right? You only get back $1,000. You only get back the profit or the winnings. So for that reason, similar to the risk-free bets, if you want to go through the math, you want your free bets to be placed on longer odds, right? So you can see all of the examples from the low holds page where you can get the highest conversion rates will be on, WynnBet will be, plus 400, plus 300, something like that. Because that is what maximizes the value. It never makes sense to place a free bet on something that's minus 250. So, we say, okay, what if our risk-free bet on WynnBet loses? Then what you'd want to do is you'd place your $1,000 risk-free bet on the Jets on WynnBet, and then you would hedge with the Colts on Circa. So you would place, 3.5K. And again, depending on your bankroll, you can pick lower odds, higher odds. Like if you want to go with this Georgia Tech versus Miami, Florida one, it depends what sportsbooks you have available to you, all sorts of things like that. So for this Georgia Tech versus Florida one, you'd want to place your $1,000 free bet on Georgia Tech plus 310, and then you'd want to hedge on Miami, Florida minus 350 for 2.4K, and you would guarantee yourself a profit of $688 out of your $1,000 free bet, right? So what we're going to say is I should be able to get a conversion rate above or around 75% if my risk-free bet loses, right? So in other words, if I wanted to convert my bet risk-free into if this bet loses and I got back a free bet and I wanted to convert an $1,000 free bet into cash, I could do that using the low holds page and convert it into roughly $750 in cash, which is just a conversion rate of 75% for a free bet, right? So here you can see this example with WynnBet and Circa, you can get 76.58%. Just, this is the first example that popped up. If you're checking the page more frequently, you can probably get much higher percentages. So we can see this is the best one, 76.58%. So I could convert my $1,000 free bet into $765.80. So now you have to remember, if our initial bet loses, so if Central Michigan loses tomorrow, we get back an $1,000 free bet, and with a conversion rate of 75%, we should be able to convert that $1,000 free bet into $750 in cash, right? So that means we actually lose $250, right? We lose $250 if our risk-free bet loses. So it's always funny because they say these bets are risk-free, but technically they're not. I mean, you could hedge out of your initial bet on Central Michigan money line. You could hedge on a different sports book for both legs and make this risk-free, but it's not actually risk-free because it's not like you're getting back cash. You're getting back an $1,000 free bet, which is, worse than cash, that you need to then convert into cash by placing the bet. So long story short, if our bet loses, we get back an $1,000 free bet. We could very easily convert that into $750 in cash. So we'd only be losing $250 if Central Michigan is to lose, right? Usually, if we place an $1,000 bet on Central Michigan, plus 310 odds, and there's no promotion, and we lose $1,000. But when you're getting back a free bet, you're actually only losing $250 in terms of profit and loss. So now we have everything we need to calculate the expected value of this promotion. We have the odds we're getting. We have our probability of winning. We have our payout if we're winning. We have our loss probability. And then we have how much money we lose if our risk-free bet loses. So again, we lose $250 because we convert this $1,000 free bet into $750 in cash, which means we lose $250. So what we can do at this point, we have all the numbers we need, is just say, okay, 24.11% of the time, again, that's just the zero vig, zero juice market. Put in Pinnacle's market here, remove the juice, you get an estimate of the fair win probability for Central Michigan. So, and that was 24.11%, right? So 24.11% of the time we'll be winning 3.1K. The other 75.89% of the time we'll be losing $250 because we're going to get back an $1,000 free bet that we then have to convert into cash for a loss of $250. Right? So, 3/4 of the time roughly, we lose $250. 25% of the time roughly, we win 3.1K. So the expected value of this promotion is $558, right? And this is just for WynnBet, right? This is just for WynnBet. So you have to remember, like I did this on BetMGM as well. We have the Pelicans versus the Suns. This actually starts in 27 minutes, so the video won't be up. We got the Pelicans plus 475 odds. It's going to be something similar, right? So the value of WynnBet was $558. I'll assume the value of BetMGM is going to be roughly similar. So, this is the value of our WynnBet sign-up bonus. The value of BetMGM is going to be roughly similar. The value of Unibet, which is only a $500 risk-free bet, is going to be roughly, this divided by 2 because it's a $500 risk-free bet as opposed to an $1,000 risk-free bet. And you can see, even just looking at, these three sports books, BetMGM, WynnBet, and Unibet, we're already looking at a profit of roughly, $13.95 just from signing up for these 3 sports books. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. We're sitting at a profit of $13.95 just doing these, risk-free bets across sports books in a mathematically optimal way. And again, if you wanted to, and if you have questions about this, you can always reach out to us. You could hedge your initial bet on Central Michigan and guarantee yourself that you'll never lose money. So you can, try doing out the math on your own. But if we go back to this game, you can see the best odds I can get on Western Michigan are minus 350 on Fox Bet. So what you could do is you could hedge out a part of your risk if you wanted to. So you could, throw $500, $1,000, $1,500, whatever on Fox Bet on Western Michigan to guarantee yourself that you'll never, you'll reduce your upside profit, but you'll also make sure that you never lose money. So that is the risk-free bet on WynnBet. So signed up for 3 sportsbooks so far. Maybe there will be some time for some more, but also just, kind of browsing for some good lines. We've said this before, but line discrepancies and looking for value in odds is really how you start to make, money sports betting. So as an example, we can see right here, this Pablo Carrera Busta guy, his game spread in tennis. So we can actually just click on this. You can get -4, -105 on BetMGM. That's a direct arb to Pinnacle, right? The sharpest bookmaker out there. The sharpest sportsbook in the world is a direct arb to BetMGM. Whenever you see risk-free profit exist in sports betting, you know that there's a side to a bet, right? And that's why looking for line discrepancies, looking around at odds, whether it's a live game, whether it's a pre-match game, whatever it is extremely useful. Is whenever a line discrepancy like this exists, where you can get Blues money line -120 on DraftKings or Sharks money line +125 on a different sportsbook, Unibet, one of these bookmakers has to be wrong. And it's your job as a sharp sports bettor, regardless of where you're located, to kind of dig through the numbers and figure out, look around at lines and figure out, okay, what's the good bet? So here it seems like hockey markets for Thursday, it's currently Tuesday, are just starting to be posted, and there's some line disagreement, right? The Blues are -150 on BetRivers, they're -120 on DraftKings. At the same time, the Sharks are only +100 on DraftKings, BetRivers has +125. So what's the side here, right? Is it Sharks +125? Is it Blues -120? And that's kind of your job as a sharp bettor. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, and then here's the other bet I believe I placed on BetMGM. So we have under 5 goals in the Blues-Kings game, +195 odds, Pinnacle's all the way down at +160. So there's some pretty clear value in that. So that's just a typical positive expected value bet that I'm sure you've probably seen too many examples of at this point. But again, it's just line shopping, right? Like BetRivers is only giving you +167. Caesars only +195. Pinnacle's all the way down at +160. This is a direct arb, so there has to be a side. Unibet +167 and Twinspires +167. So, clearly some value on the +195, which is really what you're looking for as a bettor who's looking to profit. You're looking for line discrepancies where you can step in and profit because the odds are above the fair price or the price that they should be. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions about Indiana sportsbooks, any of these 11, any questions about the sign-up bonuses, whatever it is, let us know in the comments. Obviously, I hope you found this video helpful. Please like it, share it, subscribe it to the OddsJam channel. We'll try to put out a lot of content regarding sports betting, sign-up bonuses, sports betting taxes, stuff like that, that is hopefully useful to making you a more profitable, more informed sports bettor. Thanks so much for your time.